Truth here is not a performance, it is a seed. It does not demand the stage, it demands patience. It grows unseen before it grows undeniable. The world has taught us to make decisions based on lust, pressure, and external validation. It has taught us to confuse intensity with intimacy, spark with substance, desire with destiny. It has taught us to chase what dazzles, settle for what entertains, and measure worth by applause rather than alignment. But energy is eternal. Contracts are spiritual. Covenants are cosmic. These are not things to be rushed, negotiated casually, or left to chance. They are the architecture of your life, the currents that carry your soul, the blueprints that your Ori agreed to before this lifetime. If you cannot see clearly, if the path before you is blurred by spiritual amnesia, emotion, distraction, cultural noise, or displacement, you must seek guidance. You must consult those who can see clearly, read the signs, feel the currents, and name what is hidden. Divination is not superstition, it is clarity. It is the excavation of truth. It is the compass that protects you from the risk of binding yourself to a path that was never yours to walk, or to someone who was never meant to walk beside you. And in doing so, you end up delaying or distorting your own destiny. You end up distorting the rhythm of your own life. You end up bringing imbalance, not just to yourself, but to every soul connected to your path. This is the excavation. This is the sacred labor of discernment. We don't participate in guesswork in this soil. We don't leave things to our wild imagination. We don't allow impulse, fantasy, or fleeting desire dictate the currents of our lives. Here in this soil, every choice is measured, every movement is felt, every alignment is witnessed. We learn to pause before we commit. We learn to look beneath the surface of charm, beneath the glitter of attraction, and beneath the applause of the world. We learn to listen to the whispers of our Ori, to the steady pulse of our energy, to the agreements that our souls have already written before we even arrived here. Many of us have been tricked into believing that discernment is simply about guessing correctly, about sizing up a situation, a person, or a choice, and making a good call based on what we've seen, what we've been told, or what we hope will happen. But true discernment is not a game of chance. It is not inherited assumptions. It is not what society, culture, or peers dictate. True discernment is sacred labor. It is excavation. It is the slow, careful act of turning the soil of your life and noticing what lies beneath the surface. It is listening, not to the loud applause of the world, not to the shimmer of desire, not to the impulse of attraction, but to the quiet, unshakable currents of your Ori, your energy, and the contracts your soul has already written before you arrived here. Discernment is the practice of naming what nourishes and what drains. It is the courage to separate the fireworks from the flame that sustains. It is patience, the willingness to sit in the tension, to sit in uncertainty, and to let clarity emerge organically from your own soil. It is ancestral. It is spiritual. It is a way of knowing that cannot be rushed or faked. It cannot be borrowed from advice, trends, or fleeting approval. Here in this soil, we reclaim that sacred capacity. We pause before commitment. We sense the difference between charm that entertains and presence that holds. We honor slow, steady, sacred knowing over the temptation of instant gratification. We trust that the quiet flame that persists long after the fireworks have faded is enough. Only then, when we have dug deep, witnessed our own energy, and consulted the currents of covenant and contract, can we approach love, partnership, and life decisions with clarity. Only then can we step into alignment without compromise, into relationships that mirror our fullness, honor our purpose, and sustain our soul's journey. Family, this is the work. Not to love blindly, but with vision. Not to build from fantasy, but from foundation. To enter not just into marriage, but into covenant, rooted, aligned, and blessed.